Hey everybody, we're at the Exotic Wildlife Association today, and we're going to be talking about the new app that EWA is launching. Let's talk about it. All right, now that we're here, we're going to have everyone introduce themselves so that we know who we're talking with and what we're talking about. So if you'll tell everybody who you are and who you're with.
Yeah, Brennan Roberts, IT consultant and project manager for the EWA app development.
Jason Reed, I'm an EWA member and was asked to head up the initiative to design, create, and put an app together that would benefit all the members and contribute to the industry.
Absolutely. I'm Austin Praden. I'm the owner of Droptine Studios.
I'm Tyler Kilcrease, employee here at Droptine Studios.
Perfect. So, Jason, can you kind of walk me through the process of why, and a little bit of your background of why you were chosen to head up the app, and,
Sure.
And then how y'all's relationship started and why y'all chose them?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a nurse by trade and operate hospitals for my career for 21 years now. And, of course, in the hospital sector, we use a lot of technology, right? EHRs and different technologies to communicate in a secure environment. So I think with that being said, and me having the background of having ranches and also in the industry, talking to Pete as they brought it up and seeing the need for my own ranch and what we needed, it was kind of a, well, I don't mind taking it on. We can try it kind of thing. But no, I've had a background in doing this and helping build some EHRs. So I was definitely confident it could be done. Just needed to go in the right opportunity. And then Brennan, I called Brennan. Brennan does some stuff for us in that sector as a CIO and said, hey, B, you want to come join the team and help me do this? And he'd been out to the ranch, obviously, a few times. And we had talked through different needs even back then of what we would need and what could be done. And I think we even had the conversations of registries and apps way back when, before I even knew of EWA. So yeah, it was a perfect fit, and just called him up, and then he can tell you why he said yes. Which,
well, kind of what Jason said, to give us some backstory. Jason and I have a relationship of prior build outs of software and everything, and I think, not to go too deep into it already, but you have to do it to get it built the correct way. Right. So I've been to the ranch a few times. The same thing with the hospital sector. And in healthcare, you have to see it. You have to do it. You have to breathe it to know what's going on in order to build it correctly, to get your functionalities down pat. So, yeah, just working through that with Jason, getting out to the ranch and seeing how that, how everything in the processes flow, and working some deer with Jason.
deer.
Getting kicked around a little bit.
You come to my ranch, man, your hands.
Yeah, so no, that definitely played a huge part in this app development, getting to see that hands-on experience face to face.
Right, yeah, because I think a lot of people, whether it's a website, but an app is so much more in depth. Like, a lot of people think you can just snap your fingers and have an app, next day.
Right.
And it's a lot.
That would have been me way back when, right? I want it yesterday. No, it's definitely a lot more to it. And, as anything, it starts with understanding the whole scope and making sure your platform can sustain where not only you want to get to, but where your potential growth is. And so bringing B on, and the first challenge when, I spoke to Pete and Charlie and those guys was finding someone that could actually do this for us, right? Someone that had integrity, that was respectable, obviously didn't cost double the standard, even though you pay for what you get. So you had to have someone that was going to potentially be a little higher than just anyone off the street that that says they build apps, especially in the membership, because as you all know, the first few times you use the app, people are either going to go, okay, this is great, or throw it away. So I think the first thing we talked about was the vision of Pete and Charlie's growth in EWA, and where they want to grow not only the registry but the membership, not multi-state, as big as they can. And so that was probably the first thing we spoke of. And through my healthcare background and my previous company, we had a tech company that indirectly got us, and ended up calling that gentleman, with this, and said, hey man, y'all in the tech sector, help me out, who would you use? And kind of gave him a little bit of the scope and what we're on. Of course, he said budget range. You're like, ooh, I don't know what you get billed for that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll figure it out, right?
But that's what a lot of people don't realize either, is like, it sounds expensive until you have to do it 3 or 4 times with cheaper options.
That's correct. And that's exactly what we want to avoid. We want to try to bring a product to the board and to the members that, of course, you're never going to please everyone, but was valuable and usable to the majority of the member base, and then worked right the first time, right? Not with softwares that you get downtimes and glitches. I mean, if that's what you're managing your herd from and your ranch from, you have to be able to depend on it. So dependability was big for us, and then having someone that could stand behind it, had been in the business with the big boys. And so I hit B up. I took his advice, reached out to them, believe it online, because I didn't have a contact, and they contacted me back. And come to find out, it was a gentleman that I didn't even know, but kind of the, I guess, sales rep or the customer rep that was from my hometown, Lake Charles.
Really?
We were talking, really. But so we talked, I think he's out of Houston. And B then went in some of his contacts and started getting the same bid proposals on kind of the concept once we met with the initial committee, which we did. We met in Kerrville with 6, 7, 8 of us that the board chose.
Yep.
Kind of went out there, and then I think, as you as a member, we sent out the emails to kind of get some initial feedback and figure out what they felt would be good for the members. It's kind of hard to pull 2,500 members and start something. So the concept here was to just get something out there that we could do what we did today with, which was show it, get feedback. This is where we're starting. Where do you guys want to go? What is usable for you? What is not usable? And then, through the next, I guess, couple of weeks, we'll tweak it and figure out the first, second, and third phases. We'll figure out hopefully the first phase and be able to finish it, wrap it up, and move forward. And we chose soft serve. If you look up soft serve, you look at that
how many
background.
people did y'all get bids from?
Four. Yeah.
Four different companies. Yeah.
We had 4 different proposals to the initial board, and went through there, and we did a pro and con analysis. From a cost perspective, from a company size and stability perspective, and did all that gamut. And I think ultimately, BOT. I'll say this: soft serve was the original choice to do the initial, and we're still talking to some another organization about assisting us with his partnering on some of this. Yeah, and I think they have a lot of years of doing this, which is what you want to bring to the table. And I think we'll be able to wrap this up and give somebody the next round of something that they can really use.
Yeah. So how's that been like? I know we talked earlier yesterday, but how's that been going from the tech company that probably doesn't know much about wildlife? And then integrating what the ranchers want, and they're like, the app people are saying we don't think you need that, and the ranchers are like, we absolutely need that.
Man, that goes back to just development in general. We, like you said, we spoke about it yesterday. You and I mentioned it earlier. You have to know what you're doing to get a product in that market to do what you needed to do. So, it is a difficult process to be able to extract all the business rules and requirements from the stakeholders and the end users, and then being able to communicate that effectively back to the tech guys who only speak tech. Right. So then that's kind of where I sit in the middle, which is the guy who can I can go and say, oh, okay, we need an SQL database and a read-write permission here and link that architecture there, and then come back to them and say, okay, what do you want to do? Oh, you just want this to open, press that button? Okay.
Right. Rancher's simple.
Simple, yeah.
He's kind of the liaison, right? From the ranching world of verbiage compared to the tech verbiage, and help us connect that, and he's done a good job of that. Absolutely. This started 5 months ago?
5 months.
Had our first initial architectural engineering design with soft serve initially. They came in, we flew to
Austin.
Yep. And spent the day. They were great. And then it's countless other calls, emails, hours,
Flights,
different versions and stuff just to get where we're here. But it's been good.
So what's the functionality of the website, or what the app going to be?
So the goal here was to take all the current systems that EWA use and put it in one platform that can do everything robustly, right? And state of the art, new technology, user friendly, instantaneous at the end user's phones. Because as we all know, nowadays, I would say everybody would agree that opening a laptop, even though we sit in front of a desk, is something that people don't do anymore. Where you said that 10 years ago was the opposite.
Right.
Now it's all about the instantaneous phone 24/7. So I think that was the first concept to try to give them, and so that's been a challenge, trying to repace the old and make sure that we take into consideration some of the old stuff that they still have compared to some of the new technology we're trying to bring for the members. with that. But yeah, it's going to be one universal database platform that will communicate, and it'll do a number of things. The first big thing that we set out was to do was membership management, right? This is for the members. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that the members can use this to better manage their membership. Right. And one of the big things, as you're aware, that is in any business, or we've talked about this before in other meetings, was communication, right? So really a communication tool that everybody can see in their phones. If I look out right now, I don't see many people that don't have their phones up, that aren't on their phones right now. Unfortunately, even the people that are talking to people have phones up. So using that as a communication. Then the second phase is the registry. Going to UC Davis, watching them. My background, they're just legit. Integrity, man.
I was blown away when we went.
It's absolutely, I was too, and I was hopeful, but I had doubts because I'd been in previous years ago, decade industry, and I kind of questioned some of the registry integrity and what they did. Right. But when I left there, as you know, man, I was like, oh, they're legit.
Fired up.
Yeah, fired up. And then we didn't get to meet Dr. Rob, and everybody else was wonderful. And then after the last 2 days here with Dr. Rob and telling him what we're trying to do, and then you weren't in this last meeting that we had in BOT, man, just even some of the stuff to hear him talking, what nobody's doing, and I think we're going to be able to do collectively as the EWA association with UC Davis, who is the leader. Obviously, the only forensic lab accredited in the U.S. I mean, they got their shit together. Just plain and simple, being in the industry. So it's exciting what we're going to do, and making it to where the members can have access to easily capture their herds in real time. You work there, man. You know how it is. It's chaos, right? You work late at night, 9, 10, 11. You got people everywhere. Hey, y'all got a camera? And are you taking a meeting trying to fix? And by the time you settle down, if the next day, if not the next, you're trying to go put everything in that spreadsheet. It's just chaotic. So hopefully we can deliver something.
They'll be able to... you're going to run the DNA through the app as well? Or like when you get the notifications and when their DNA is ready?
Yes, absolutely.
And then they'll have the image, be able to take the image of the deer, all that, everything.
You'll be able to take the image of the deer. You'll be able to decide if you want to register it or just put in your herd. When you do that, it's going to then come into a way that you put all the information in deer. If you decide to register it, it's going to give you the barcode that's required to track this information. It's going to give you an EWA reference code that'll stay with the deer, and then it's going to put it in a cart. And then if you want to register 20 deer out of your 40 that night, and whether you want to keep 20 in registered or not, then next day you're going to pay for it online. And when they pay for it, it's going to send the information straight there, straight connect, and they're going to receive it. And you're going to take your hair, you're going to connect the barcodes, send it to them, and it's going to expedite the process. And we have some other stuff that is exciting. We actually talked to Dr. Rob about that. I think if we can do it, would even be more exciting coming. But, the concept here is to get when you have a deer in a pen and you're trying to figure out who they're out of, you don't know, and you don't want to keep that deer long, and they're stressed, and it puts it on them. So I think the quicker we can do some of this turnaround, and not that the current process isn't great, it is. I mean, they do a great job in this registry by all means, but as we continue to look to grow in the scale, time is of everything. So if we can use technology to decrease those individual touches and use the ladies that do a great job in the Kerrville location of customer service and making sure this is right, they're going to have more volume here. I mean, we've already seen the Access registry in a year grow 300% just in that. And so I think it's going to bring a lot of value to not only the EWA members, but to the staff to help manage that frequency and that volume.
Speaking on that volume, right now, can you go into probably explain to some of the people who don't know, what is a time frame that we're looking at right now when you do send some DNA in? Then how much percentage do you expect it to increase by after the help of the app? And
so one thing, we'll definitely go through that because that was a consideration. But, one of these variables to know is when you have a registry growing, your volumes are growing, right? And so if you use the same data and statistics that you had the last year, but you have 300% growth in the last year, it's kind of hard to use those same numbers. So take that into context. But I think right now, Shelly and the ladies who do a wonderful job getting and expediting they can, because you got to realize a lot of this is out of their hands too, right? As ranch managers, sometimes when they don't fill out the right stuff, or the hair's not right, or the information's not right, and so by building an app that it puts that information on the ranch manager instead of the EWA individual,
the middleman,
it makes them do stuff right, so that it'll decrease that overall time. And I think right now they're running on average 4 weeks from the time you submit accurately, and I use that word, that things happen. Maybe some a little bit quicker, some a little bit longer. As we were talking this weekend, the goal here is to speed this up. I would say a week conservatively,
Wow,
or maybe a week and a half.
Yeah.
So if you can get it in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, that'd be wonderful. And I think if we can get to the end result, we have that opportunity. And as everybody knows, 10 days for an animal, especially if you have it and you're holding it, right? If you're releasing and you just want it, that'd be great to have. But if you're holding it, 10 days means a lot when it comes to the stress of the animal.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this morning y'all gave a little presentation and everything. Is there anything that y'all said in the presentation that y'all want to mention on the podcast?
The only thing I would say is to the members is, again, we're trying to design this to make your life easier and build for you. So the more feedback we get, the more consideration that we can meet those goals for the membership. No question's a dumb question. No suggestion's a dumb suggestion, right? Throw it out there, throw it on the darts, and then let's see what we can build, what's realistic, and then what phases we can implement certain things in.
Yeah, in different meetings, I liked what you said of like, what's the have to haves, what's the would be nice to haves, and what else? Because there's one more, wasn't there?
What would be cool to have?
Yeah, what would be cool to have?
Yeah, like the unicorn stuff. This would be really cool, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And one of the things, obviously, the unicorn stuff is the future, right? Is AI. So one of the things we looked at when we're designing the back end engineering platforms to make sure that the application could handle that and everything we want to do. And so again,
so you're thinking long term.
Yeah, absolutely. Bigger picture, because as you know, technology is going to continue to evolve quicker and quicker and quicker. So you don't want to build the back end where it can't handle that growth opportunity. So I think that was the next step of finishing that as we get feedback, knowing where we want to go initially, and then executing it, right? And then delivering it and making sure that it's a viable, dependable product, which I think Soft Serve and the other individual group that we're looking to partner with potentially on the other side are all great. So I have confidence in no matter who the board of directors choose, I know that the membership will get a good quality app by the next event.
Right? Really?
That's the goal.
So by August.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Again, not for the whole herd management, for the first, as I say, the first phases, which the first phase of membership and the registry, and then the second phase would be the herd management, and the third phase is the unicorns.
Right. Because I was going to say most people might hear it and be like, man, if you're all been in 5 months now, by August that might be almost a year. But at the same time, it's like in this realm of things, that is quick.
Yeah.
Most people want things, like I said, Amazon Prime next day. But just even that process, that's a fast turnaround.
Well, the good thing is, Charlie and Pete heard and they executed. We went. So like I said, we've been working at this a little while. It feels like it may not feel like longer than it's been, but we've got a lot of work into it. So I think once we get this last feedback from the memberships, because again, that's what it's about, and tweak it, then it's a matter of tuck and tie and let's roll. And I have no doubt that the initial phase one, and I'll call it again phase one, that self-serve, according to them, can deliver on point, doing this.
And so when you mentioned that people giving ideas or recommendations or anything like that, is there a place that they can go to submit
Absolutely.
those?
So you'll be seeing through the Facebook portal, and I think through the actual EWA site, they're going to be playing the videos of the initial phase, kind of sum up. Again, that's not everything, so just kind of give you a little bit of insight of what they're building. And at the end, there's going to be a Q code. And so a lot of people can't come to these events, or when they were in the meeting, they had other conversations. So we have papers out with that so that you can scan the Q code. And then, hopefully you guys will get it out on the Facebook and sites so that we can do that. And over the next 2 days, everybody, of course, has their phones, and hopefully we can get more and more insight for that. But Q code it up. It's a little small questionnaire, and then you can ad-lib any other ideas you have, and nothing's crazy. Like, submit them all, right? You never know.
Right, and if anyone who's not an EWA member or own animals, like if you have any insight to ideas or other industries like the medical industry or something that would benefit, because again, at the end of the day, this is for our kids, this is for the future generation, and it will benefit everyone today, but at the end of the day, we're trying to build something to sustain for our kids and their kids and the future generations of this industry.
The generation now, as you know, technology, unfortunately, is in everyone's hand, even the kids nowadays. And I think, the forefathers, the initial founding men and women that started this 70 years ago have done an amazing job getting us here. And I think because of that, the growth opportunities that this organization has and watching what they're doing for the wildlife and the exotic industry, you're just, again, the scale to give that same customer service and level as things spread out. I think we have to evolve and do something like this for the members, and the members who don't even know yet they want to be a part of it. That I think as we continue to push these items out here and show that EWA is the leader, and they're going to strive to continue to be the leader, number one, that we'll have more people join us.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I would encourage anyone, whether you're listening or here at the show, just to be able to come talk, because, I mean, y'all have a booth here, and
yes, we do.
I know that y'all are more than willing to talk.
Absolutely.
And so
anytime, any day, yeah.
Any questions, anything, I would say reach out to them, reach out to the EWA. But.
Yeah, the more questions and the more ideas, the better. And that's what I tell everybody. If you want to be a part of this design, because you will be. You answer the questionnaire, you're part of it, whether the board and the committee chooses those functionalities or not, you're a part of it. You're able to give input. So hopefully the members will spread that out. Hopefully you guys can get that out for us.
Absolutely.
Make sure people take this, because this is a real-time consideration for people to give feedback, to help build this for them. What do you need? What do you need?
Absolutely. B, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I just want to kind of reiterate what what Jason said. And this app is for the members, and that feedback is everything. And even last night, we sat down with a new member.
Yeah.
All considerations and input is welcomed, and we're listening. We're going to listen. We're going to hear them out and take that all into consideration to help build this platform.
You got anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I think everything's just going to come back. They've seen how we've grown over the past couple of years just in this room, in the past prior places to this. It's just going to come with grace, and there might be some bumps along the way, but
there always is.
There always is, and
you stay the course, right?
Yeah,
you stay the course, and you look at the end result and make sure we get there.
Right.
The members are just, like y'all said, it's by the members for the members, so everybody has an opportunity of voice, and if someone says something, I would just speak up about it, be like, hey man, there's maybe this, or take this off and add this. Those things would go a long way versus later down the road figuring them out. So getting the problems out of the way now for the future.
Well, I like that you said that, Tyler. Like it's all grace too, right? Because I don't know if anyone knows this, Jason, you're donating your time, right?
Absolutely.
Like, this is something that Jason's doing with his limited time he already has.
That's correct.
And so although this is going to help you and your ranch, you're not doing this for financial profit for yourself. And you're a pretty new member to EWA, right?
I am, a little over 2 years, right at 2 years.
That's amazing, man. And so I want to say on behalf of Droptine, but also EWA, thank you for your dedication to this, because we need members to step up. We need people to be on committees. We need people to voice their opinion. We need people to vote. Like we need people to be in situations.
I think we're 100% committed to EWA, and part of it is the reason, the organization, the mission. The other part is the people inside of it and what they're trying to accomplish, and guys like you and everybody I met here. So I know it's a pleasure to do it. We're gonna get it done.
Absolutely,
we'll figure it out. Especially because we got that new Louisiana thing coming that we need to be able to use this for that upcoming growth opportunity.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be one of the next podcasts we do. There's about to be a new EWA branch. Is that what you'd call it?
Yeah, it's a charter. It's an existing charter that they had that they're looking to fire back up. And so, it's exciting. A lot of growth in EWA, a lot of growth for future people and future individuals to join and be a part of this great association.
Absolutely. So we'll have a good president over that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hopping on here. I know y'all's time is valuable, so we really appreciate you guys being here and helping educate people. And
we're excited as we get to the next phase. We'd love to update the members through this. So again, make sure you give us questions and give us ideas as soon as you can, so that we can make those decisions. Because our goal is to have you a product by the next event.
Amazing. Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you again. And if you need, we'll be putting this out on our Droptine podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and we'll be more than likely sending it out through the EWA. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to see someone on the podcast, you can go to droptinestudios.com/podcast. And there's places for you to submit Q&As. There's places for you. If you want to see someone on here, you can submit that to us, and we'll do our best to get them either here at the show or at our studio. But thank you for tuning in, and thanks, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
We'll see y'all around.
Yes, sir.